Now, sources have claimed that Prince Andrew and his ex-wife Sarah Ferguson have been told they are not welcome at the royal family's Christmas celebrations amid fresh allegations surrounding their involvement with pedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein.
When Prince Andrew walked back into Windsor Castle, he expected respect. He expected bows, nods, and the quiet reverence that once surrounded him. Instead, he was met with silence. No greetings, no titles, no deference. Just the cold, hollow echo of a man stripped of everything he once believed untouchable.
Andrew had a relationship of some sort with Virginia Roberts. She is the woman that Prince Andrew's got his arm around in this photo, dated 2001. At this point, she's 17. She subsequently alleged that Prince Andrew had sex with her 3 times.
Once known as the Duke of York, Prince Andrew Mountbatten Windsor has fallen from grace in a way no royal ever has. He's lost his military titles, his patronages, his public role, and according to insiders, most of his dignity. After the Epstein scandal, Andrew was banished from public life, but in his mind, the royal hierarchy still applied. He believed that deep down, respect was his birthright. When he returned to Windsor Castle for the first time since King Charles stripped his titles, Andrew expected nostalgia, a familiar routine of bows and formal greetings. What he encountered instead was an entirely different reality. The staff, once cautious and deferential, now looked him in the eye. No one bowed, no one stammered, "Your Royal Highness." They addressed him as Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. And for a man who spent decades demanding obedience, that single word, Mr., was the sharpest humiliation yet.
Prince Andrew was shocked into giving up his titles after King Charles threatened to take further action. It is understood. The king spelled out to his younger brother that he must jump or he'd be pushed, with decisive further action reportedly on the table.
Reports from the Daily Mail's royal correspondent paint a bleak picture. Andrew's visit to Windsor wasn't a quiet family reunion. It was a reckoning. Guards who once saluted him turned their eyes away. Servants who once froze in his presence now stood upright, unbothered. And the household that once danced to his demands now followed one rule: treat him like any other citizen. This was no accident. It was a deliberate instruction, part of King Charles's quiet restructuring of palace protocol. The message was unmistakable. Andrew no longer represents the crown. He represents the scandal that almost broke it. Imagine it, walking through the home of your childhood, only to find the walls whispering your disgrace back at you.
I think we need to know why Andrew's not paying any rent.
And where did he get a total of £8.5 million in 2005?
Yeah, because
did we pay for it?
Well, no, don't think the Mail are reporting today that he did not get a major inheritance from the Queen or the Queen Mother.
For decades, Andrew enjoyed privileges few could imagine: private chefs, chauffeurs, meals sent directly from the royal kitchens to his residence at Royal Lodge, a luxury some insiders mockingly called the Royal Deliveroo. But that too is gone. Sources confirm that Windsor staff have been instructed not to send anything over. If Andrew wants lunch, he'll have to prepare it himself, or depend on whatever Sarah Ferguson manages to whip up between her book signings and podcast appearances. For a man who spent his life expecting service, this was no small slight. It was a message carved in silence. You are not special anymore. Symbolically, this change cut deeper than any tabloid headline. In royal life, privilege is never about the act. It's about what it represents. The moment those gestures vanish, so does the illusion of power.
Allegedly treats staff at the Royal Lodge. So what were some of the biggest revelations about working for the Duke of York?
Yeah, so Tom Quinn's released this really kind of humorous book in a way, talking about, the lives of the staff at the palaces. What is it really like being, a maid or a butler to a member of the royal family?
Andrew's history with palace staff is infamous. Former aides describe him as temperamental, demanding, and perpetually unsatisfied. He was known to shout his favorite command, "Hurry up," at anyone who moved too slowly. He once berated footmen for not arranging his cushions perfectly. For years, fear maintained order. Now, the fear is gone. Those same employees, once scolded for failing to bow fast enough, now call him Mr. Mountbatten Windsor. With deliberate calm, some reportedly enjoy it. It's easy to dismiss this as petty, but within royal walls, small gestures are everything. Titles, greetings, even posture, they define hierarchy. And when those symbols disappear, the authority disappears with them.
Virginia Giuffre's powerful posthumous memoir. I have read this book, and here are some of the things that I have taken away from it. It contains absolutely harrowing accounts of the abuse and cruelty Virginia Giuffre says she suffered at the hands of Epstein and Maxwell.
Andrew's isolation runs deeper than titles or meals. Behind the gates of Royal Lodge, he lives like a ghost. Cut off from the rhythm of royal life, he hoped King Charles would eventually forgive him. He hoped his daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, would plead his case. He hoped time would soften the public's anger. None of that has happened. The royal circle has closed ranks. Andrew has been left behind. For a man who once strutted through royal grounds with untouchable arrogance, being ignored inside the castle walls he once ruled is a humiliation beyond words.
You will not be invited to Sandringham. Now, I don't generally advise anyone to avoid church, but in Andrew's case, maybe he could spend a little more time in church privately rather than making headlines.
Sources now reveal that Andrew will soon be moved to a smaller property on the Sandringham estate, a quiet exile far from Windsor, far from cameras, far from the family that once shielded him. Insiders suggest this will take place by early 2026. It's not a punishment written on paper. It's a royal maneuver, a silent relocation designed to fade him out of relevance, and yet, it's not the move that stings, it's what it represents. The message from King Charles is unmistakable. There is no path back. But the true humiliation came not from Windsor's cold reception. It came from what surfaced shortly after. Leaked emails exchanged between Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein's circle have shaken what little remained of his reputation. In these messages, Andrew isn't the confident royal we saw in interviews. He's frantic, panicked, a man watching his empire collapse in real time. In one message, he wrote, "I can't take any more of this." Just 6 words, but they reveal everything. A desperate man pleading for control, trying to silence what could no longer be hidden. These emails prove that his relationship with Epstein's world continued far longer than the palace ever admitted. He wasn't detached. He was involved, not distancing, but coordinating. Not innocent, but afraid.
He knows exactly what he's done, and I hope he comes clean about it.
He absolutely denies any sexual relationship or contact, and those allegations were thrown out of a court case.
For years, Andrew portrayed himself as misunderstood. A loyal son of the late Queen, unfairly targeted by the press. But the emails shattered that illusion. They reveal a man in panic, begging others to clean up the mess he created. Behind closed doors, he was strategizing, pleading, and blaming everyone but himself. The palace can strip titles, rewrite statements, and bury stories, but it cannot erase digital ink. And for Andrew, those messages are now part of his legacy, forever. And so, the man who once carried the title His Royal Highness now walks the halls of Windsor as a stranger. No titles, no power, no reverence, just echoes of what used to be. Andrew's humiliation wasn't a single event. It was a slow, public unraveling. From lost privileges to leaked emails, his downfall is no longer a headline. It's a cautionary tale, because in the House of Windsor, disgrace doesn't happen with fanfare. It happens quietly, in the silence of guards who no longer salute, in the staff who no longer bow, and in the one word that replaced his royal title, Mr. And yet, through all this, one truth remains. The silence of Windsor speaks louder than any denial Andrew could ever offer. Do you believe this marks the end of Andrew's public life, or has the damage been irreparable for years? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more royal revelations, because in the world of the monarchy, the real stories are always the ones they try to hide.